Greetings, everyone. Welcome. I asked chat whether we're going back to the dungeons or tinkering, and the answer was tinkering. Rob didn't get to blah me today because I got right to it. So Hat's trying to trick me into talking about coffee. Delicious. This is a Jurga Chefe. This is a tough roast. Mostly the beans that I roast are very oral. You can hear they pop like popcorn. This is kind of a quiet bean. Makes it tough for me to roast properly. But good news with home roasting is you don't need to hit a bullseye. You just need to hit the target. And there we go. See, we made it. Now we're at 9:15, which is like legit blah levels.
Blah, 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 blah.
No, blah, blah, blah!
There you go. Yeah, I want Rob to relax, you know? And so anyway, chat. Anyway, YouTube friends, hello. I was back here introducing our cube draft. Chat destroyed me at this event on Friday. Went 2-5 against chat. I mean, they just straight out drafted me, not gonna lie. So I'm gonna try to learn from that experience and draft better. I don't think trying to be generically controlling is where you want to be here, which is what I was doing on Friday. Hat said he had some success with just gruel aggro, beat down. That seems fair. It feels like beating down could beat tinkering, but I think I either want to be beating down or doing legit tinkering, trying to do something busted. So we're going to jump in, see what we can find in here. I'll take suggestions from chat. I don't know what I'm doing with this cube. Help me out. Let's do that. And I'll hop here. As we jump in, I'll remind you that if you wanted to build this Tinkerer's Cube in paper, you might check out my sponsor, cardkingdom.com, and they could probably build this cube. You could probably just upload the cube list and buy it. Since it's cards that are legal on Arena, I think for the most part, Card Kingdom is going to have these well in stock. So, if not, well, get something else and fill in the corners and make the cube your own. What's up, Pablo? Some mornings I have less to say than others, I guess. Pablo can't believe it's draft time either. Who are you and what have you done with Ryan? No, it's me. Thank you for your support, Card Kingdom. Much appreciated, and I appreciate all of you who do use those affiliate links when you do business with them. Helps keep me on air. They know you got there from here. No discounts, but you get to live knowing that you're supporting my stream and that you're shopping from a wonderful retailer. All right. Well, Cathar's Crusade is both synergy and aggro. We could take Crusade and start trying to build towards just go wide. Heavy go wide. If you can do it, it's good. Just straight up removal's fine. I was saying I don't want to be controlling. Controlling didn't work out for me, but a single one-shot removal spell is still great. Wizardry is also kind of that direction. I've had Crusade pay off once. Probably it might wheel. I don't know. We could take the cast out as more generic, a more generically good place to start. Yeah, we get lessons. We can grab a lesson too. Make sure we have one of those. The science is not bad. I'll try the Crusade. I'll be a sucker. Clarion Spirit seems like a nice follow-up to that. It's kind of me marrying it, but this is a lovely bride. Pride Mate might wheel if there's some Yeah, Ashaya with Cathar's Crusade is interesting because then... oh, no, sorry, I was thinking of the other way around. I was thinking lands would be creatures, but... yeah, Lavamancer is also high quality. Yeah, it's true. I'm going to stick with I'm going to head towards this Crusade plan, though. Innkeeper... Resto is interesting. I'm intrigued by the Innkeeper, but should probably just take the Restoration Angel here. Yeah, Innkeeper is what jumped out at me. Restoration Angel stays on color. This is actually kind of interesting for the go wide plan, but it's one or more. It's not like you get a million cards. I don't think Maze Mine can be that much of a trap. It's just too much of a value card. Although I did get trapped by value cards on Friday. I'm down to Resto versus Innkeeper. I'm going to go ahead and stick with the Resto, stick with white cards here. But that Innkeeper was tempting. Nightveil Sprite could contribute to just a Skies deck. And it's, as Pablo was worried that there's not much support for the cheap spell angle you need for the Clarion Spirit, so we could try to stay looking towards the cheaper end of things. Hunt for Specimens also kind of qualifies, makes a creature potentially searches one up. You go Palaka. What's late to dinner? I should read it. 4 mana, return target creature card from your graveyard to a battlefield, create a food token. Interesting. That must be from a Horizon set. That's interesting. It feels like a Reanimator thing. I'm just going to take the Hunt. Kind of looked at that Palaka Worm and that was appealing, but the Hunt is appealing as well. Sentinel's Eyes is a small spell. Immolator is just good. Triton. Now we got this black-white. Is this any good? What do we want here? Flying, double strike. Beginning of combat on your turn, you may choose 2. Is that good? I mean, it's in our 2 colors so far. I can't tell how good this is. Double strike. The beginning of combat, you may choose 2. Each mode must. So if you don't have to do it, but if you do it, each player gets something. What about? I'm gonna take Sentinel's Eyes, and if we wheel that thing, that's fine. And then here we can grab Legion's Landing. Pest Summoning is interesting with the Hunt, but I'm going to take Legion Landing. We're not even necessarily black. We have just the 1 black card. For example, we could take Field Historian. I'm just going to stick on the low to the ground aggro white plan here, though. Expanded Anatomy is a reasonable lesson to grab. This is the right kind of dual land for what we're up to here. Crafter helps the go wide. Terramander, also not a bad spell here. If I knew we were white-black, I would take this for sure, but we only have the 1 Hunt. Yeah, I'm going to take the lesson so that we have something to get from that side of town. And we passed, the cast out. So not surprised the cast out didn't make it back here, but we did get a Danitha. Don't really have any aura or equipment yet, but she's fine. Outlander, not bad either. Pridemate for... generic 2. We don't have that much life gain per se. We do have a Healer's Hawk though. There's a Godless Shrine to lean towards the black. Primate is a nice payoff, but I'll take a Godless Shrine. Now we get a Maze Mine Tome. Yeah, some, I guess we just get a Tome, or Reaver just feels like it gets blocked. I don't know. Reaver is tough to make happen. I'm just going to take the Tome as generically good. Sprite, all these are interesting. We're not really doing milling, self-mill. I'm going to take the Night Veil Sprite in case we end up blue. I don't think we're Floodhound either, but I'll keep it in for now. It's cheap. I don't think we're doing that either. Well, Sarah's Wings, as the one white card, works with Danitha, but I don't know, not that good. Take us Environmental Sciences, a Feed the Swarm, if we do think we're black. Affinity for Tokens is kind of interesting on the Junk Winder. But there's just not a lot of interaction in the format, that, in my experience, so I think we should take the interaction. I'm going to take the interaction. Not really improvising. Could Grim Bounty for some more interaction. Environmental Sciences, we've got one of, right? No, we don't. Oh, we've got Anatomy, which does belong here. Yeah, it is Bounty, isn't it? Like, there's just not a lot of interaction. You like the kitty cat? Fantasia having too much fun. Stop having so much fun, Fantasia. You're giving us FOMO. Lots of interesting stuff here. Chapel for the fixing. Ancient Lore for just the solid 2-for-1 value. And then we've got a Johnny here. Probably a Johnny good enough. Creature card 2 or less. We've got a lot of those, so Johnny can bring stuff back. And yeah, I really like that Priest, but this is powerful enough. I'd like some Vigilance. Feels like a Johnny pumping up some Vigilant folk would be nice. Tulsimir is go wide. I mean, our second color looks like it's black, but it's not. Doesn't have to be. Conrad. Malphus squad goes a little. Probably just Pilgrim though. Conrad is kind of a thing. I think I'm just going to take Pilgrim. There's another gold card, but I'm looking at this Usher. It's going to have to be something, and Eye Twitch also. Vigilant Lifelink 4/4. Yeah, it does seem powerful. But I'm actually going to stick with my lowdown plan. I don't think we're blue. Might not even be black. If I can be mono white, I might. Solidarity seems great for what we're up to. Nahiri interesting, but Solidarity on color on plan. I wouldn't mind Plunderer either. Hey, Oni. Good to see you. Just thinking about you the other day, hoping you're well. And here you are. Krenko could be a reason to abandon black and get into red if the other cards flow. I don't think we're taking a Vorpal Sword here. So yeah, I'll take Krenko on the Feign Death, also a little pet card I wouldn't mind, but Krenko, not too late to fall back to a red position if it seems correct. Thunderous Orator seems fine. We're not really a Hall of Oracles deck. We're not even really a Blink deck, so Orator it is. Yeah, trying this Tinker's Cube. Be a little more aggressive with it. So Academic Dispute, pivoting towards the red. We'll take it on Sarah's. It's a little high risk, but you land this on something in when the dust settles, they're kind of dead. Take that over a random vampire. Sciences. Yeah, this is where it's like, boy, we really might find our way into red. I don't think we're gaining enough life to Griffin Airy. So it's Sciences or Celebrant. Yeah, I guess I took Sciences. All right, fine. We might play the Eye. I don't think we're doing the Novice Knight thing, so we'll take Eye in case we feel like we're gaining enough life to do that. Tethers. None of this. We're not playing any of this. Well, this came back. I don't know if we're playing it, but I'll take it. That just increased our life gain a little bit. Nadar, Selfless Paladin, seems fine. Basri's Acolyte, also good. Lorehold Command, excellent. Could be potentially splashed. But I think I'm just on the Paladin, and if we wheel an Acolyte, sweet. Yeah, Lorehold Command seemed interesting, but I don't, we don't, it's not calling out to me as the place we want to land, per se. Hippie is interesting. Dancing Sword is obviously on point. But Hippie, also interesting. But the double black is not really where this deck is at. Look at all this mono, single white. So I'm going to go Sword. If this were a single black, I think I would take it. I mean, it would be... Let's not that wouldn't make it just busted even more, but it would have gotten me to take it. Courser. We're not really doing the Aura Artifact Enchantment thing, even though we have Danitha here. Yeah, we should just take the Queen for top end here. Go wide. We don't have a lot of fives. This will be a fine 5 for the deck. Cartouche. Unwilling Ingredient. Kind of our choices. But I think we just want a Cartouche. Even though, again, it can set up for a 2-for-1 that we don't like. But we're going to try and just get our aggro on. Professor, hop in with Expanded Anatomy and Environmental Sciences. I like picking up a Professor here. Take a Scythe. What's this? So this is kind of a flying lord. I think we're doing enough flying to justify that as a 5-drop. I don't know if the scythe is really doing our thing either. Yeah, I think if anything, I don't think we're playing red. We might play some black. Like on this front, Marionette Master going Fabricate wide is interesting. But that's the thing. Yeah, I just don't think it makes the cut. I'd rather continue to stay low down this bottom end. Trial of Solidarity helps with that. Guiding Voice helps with that. What do you think? We're not... Oh, we even do have a cartouche. We can sometimes bring this back, but mostly this is 3 mana +2/+1 Vigilance, the team. And kind of just like another... Kind of like a Guiding Voice. I'm going to do that. Thwart, we'll take a look at our party types, decide if that makes the cut. We get a second chance at a hippie, but really maybe it's just Bone Splitter, excuse me, with Danitha. Let's just take Splitter. Yeah, I hear you on hippie, but I really don't want to play that heavy black card. Don't know if this fits in. We might not be playing black. It might just be a tight mono white here. Let's see. I'm going to cut it at first, just see where that puts us. Yeah, we could be a 17 land mono white. Oh, 18 land mono white. I don't love that as much. Oh, but there's Eye of Vecna we could put in. And at that point, a little black seems fine. You can take this. Consider the red. Maybe a touch of red is better than a touch of black here, although we have a little bit of fixing for black. Light on creatures for our creature go wide. Well, sure, we have things that make tokens, right? This makes a creature. This makes a creature. We have some stuff that spit out tokens. So let's go ahead and play the good black. I don't think we want Unwilling Ingredient, but this stuff seems fair. And then we can cut things like the eye, which is just kind of fill in. Yeah, we'll get the shrine back in when I do land, when I get the spell count done. Even cut the tome if we're trying to be aggro here. Red isn't to cut any of our creatures. You know, we got some low down synergies and they're going to work or they're not, you know. Doom Traveler wearing a Bone Splitter, not the worst. We have Expanded Anatomy and the Environmental Sciences. Anatomy especially is going to be important for this deck. I don't know if we need like... Yeah, I don't want to cut creatures at this point is the thing. So... and this is creature, makes creatures. kind of becomes a creature, makes a creature, makes a creature. So we have actually more creature stuff than it looks like, but I think we can give up on, like, on Sarah's Wings as win more. I don't want to give up on the cartouche. We're not that bad on creatures. It seems worse than it is. And Solidarity seems worth keeping, but it's true, something's got to give. We're best of one. We could do 16 with the legions flipping potentially to become a 17th. And if we, we could cut. We've got these 3 5s. Not yet. It'll be in when I collapse. I'm just looking at numbers. Eyes. Resto's not doing that much, but you can blink something for a little bit of value. But really not much. It's really kind of a 3/4 flash flyer. It's good enough for us. We can maybe be able to give up on the cartouche. Yeah, that's fair. I think I'll give up on the cartouche as our augmenter. And we still have other things here, but I'm going to definitely go that and this. Oop. Question is, do we even go one more down and make this? I think probably we do. This gives us 10-7 and 7 sources for the Grim Bounty and the Queen on 4 and 5. It's just that with all these single whites, we effectively have a lot of double white. Because we want to cast multiple single white spells on turns 3 and 4, for example. So I really want to have a high white count here. Suggestion to consider cutting Sentinel's Eyes over the cartouche. Yeah, Sciences being available is a good point to make me feel a little more comfortable about going 18 here. I will say that, like, this Eyes and whether it should be, a cartouche or a Sarah's Wings or Scythe, we don't have self-sacrifice, which makes me less interested in this one. But I'm going to run this. We'll see how it goes. But when Eyes comes up, we can ask ourselves what we wish it were. We are tinkering with aggro. We are go wide, crusade. Help me with a name. I don't want aggro in the title, but tinker. I don't know. Usually I come up with a quick name. Clockwork Orange, that's interesting. Crusade. I'll just go. We're cruising. Cruisin' Crusade. You're dead, bug. I didn't see. Maybe there's some bling redemptions. Nope. Is it like bugs? Something like that. Refund, there we go. Course hat is on it. And we best be using some new sleeves. Victory sleeves for chat. I guess so, Timber, because I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, I got some same opponent stuff last night. Take a power pull here. All right, this looks good. Open on landing. Turn 2 Clarion Spirit. Turn 3 Professor Usher. Hopefully turn 4 we flip the landing. But, you know, Ryan plans, Garfield laughs. Oh, sure. Sorry, wrong scene. Hop over here and see the hand a little better. Hey, Oakan, welcome. Good to see you. Could also go Professor this turn, and next turn just go Clarion Spirit, Usher, and be sure we get... Don't even give him a chance to kill the Clarion Spirit. I like that. Mirror match over here. Thank you for the sub, Oil Can. Definitely getting the anatomy here. That's our prime target for learning. So next turn we can go Clarion Spirit, Usher, and if we don't get interfered with at all, we can go Expanded Anatomy, Guiding Voice the next turn to double spell again. Total mirror match, kind of funny. I chose not to play this, but I have this in my board. Have this card. Almost took this card. Yeah, it looks good. Oppo tapping out here means we definitely get some value out of our Clarion Spirit. Rocket's pleased about that. Resto can blink our prof for some value. Eventually. But right now... Clarion Spirit... Could go Guiding Voice, but I don't have attacks I like yet anyway. Let's just go Usher, and we can follow through with the buff the team play next time. Maybe buff our token flyers. I think it's reasonable to complain. It sounds like they are not issuing reimbursements for that, for being paired, but I certainly like making sure Wizards hears that you don't like it. It shouldn't be that way. Should be able to attack for some value next turn. It would be nice actually to draw like some 1-drop, because then we could 1-drop, and potentially still make a Usher token, for example. Basically, if we can pull off our Clarion Spirit token making without anatomy, we could free up to make yet even more tokens. If they're spinning wheels on that, that's pretty good. I don't like this active thing. It means, like, am I talking to my opponent? That doesn't seem right. I don't know, it's disabled. No sleeping ghosts, though. I think it's reasonable, but they're just declining. They're not saying that's reasonable. Maybe they don't want to set some standard for that. Hey, ask and ye shall receive. Lucky Ryan. So, gonna do it. We're gonna, although we don't even need to. Well, yeah, I guess if the Clarion Spirit might die, but I don't need to send it in. I'm gonna go. Probably do want to just send it in since all of their blocks are trades. I'm gonna go Hawk. Guiding Voice, the flying token. Or I could Guiding Voice the 2/2 Van. Actually, this is Guiding Voice the lifelinker. Then it has good attacks too. Oh yeah, you must be seeing something with the overlay. I can't help you with overlay issues. So, do we offer the Clarion Spirit is one of my questions. I'm kind of on yes mode for that. Like, if we send in Clarion Spirit and Usher, they probably block and trade with each of those. We make one more token, we flip the landing. And then, but it can also just keep the Clarion Spirit back and continue to try to make more action from it. I think I leave the Clarion Spirit back. I think it's too good with the, because we have double spells left in hand even. Surely the ingredients blocking the Usher, though. But we'll get another card's worth of value out of it. That's fine by me. They do have 1 mana. Let's see what they can do with it. Feign Death or something like that. Nope. Straight trades. I like it. We'll take it. Next turn we have Environmental Sciences Anatomy baseline, or if we draw a land, we can go Sciences Angel if we want to do that. Well, frankly, if we draw a land, might want to resto the prof to rummage it away. Grim Bounty, can't cast that yet, but we can go, we could do Environmental Sciences, get Swamp and Grim Bounty. That seems fine here. We get the 2 spell, we kill the blocker, probably might even induce a scoop here. One, two, and we even have Resto Anatomy next turn. Rocket is really upset today. I just want y'all to know that. Your fault, clearly. So, Lifelink puts them as a virtual 12. If we Anatomy up a flyer, we get 3, 4, 5, 6. They block here, 7, 8, 9. So no real need to send the ground here. I think we just send the air. Yeah, oh, that's true. We can blink what gets blocked. Good call, sorry. Excellent call. Resto is flash, so we can blink what's blocked, and it survives even, so that's great. If this... Oh, I shouldn't... And actually, I got all excited about that. I should have still put the anatomy on, but oh well. We got this, but yes, the right line there was anatomy backed up by Angel. I just screwed up. We're going to be fine, though, and it doesn't even... You know, making a token, not the worst. They need a sweeper to stop this, and of course there is the one that we were playing. They could -3/-3 our team, but even in that case, the resto is going to live, so I think this is all good for us. But they should be dead, so I don't deny that. And I'm not going to compound it. I'm going to go ahead and... Well, let's see. Can I put this on? I'm going to put this on the spirit because it too... It would now the spirit survives the -3/-3. Well, I can't... I don't know what other sweepers are in. I know there's the -3/-3, so I'm going to play around that. And if I somehow lose this game because I failed there, that's just desserts. It'll turn out there's justice in Magic. But I feel like sweepers are not really super common in this format. They're not kind of what the format's about. So that's... I'm playing around the one I know about and not, like... Presuming there's not, like, a Damnation or a Wrath of God in here. Alright. Not punished for loose play. Still got the win. Free lessons for Ryan. I'll go in first. Got 2 of our 5s, but a reasonable curve out, so we'll keep this. Hey, there's another spirit for us too. Gonna go with the Traveler though, and turn 2 spirit. Maybe we'll find another 1-drop to go Dancing Sword 1-drop on 3. That's the dream here. Hey, we found it, and given that, I am going to do the same thing I did before, which is sandbag the spirit and go with the Dancing Sword play here, and then next turn spirit Sentinel's Eyes. This just doesn't give Oppo a chance to just kill the Clarion Spirit at sorcery speed before we can extract some value out of it. Yeah, where are we going to put that? We're going to pay 2 life here. Kind of like eyes on Traveler, although I assume this Everwise here is going to start going nuts on us. And if I go eyes here and we Solidarity equip next turn, everything gets big enough to basically get through. I think I want it on the Traveler. I'm going to spread it around. Clarion Spirit already has a target on it. I'm going to give him credit for blocking, though. I guess it was a free attack. We did have Vigilance. Could have made him figure it out. Oh man, Faithless Looting with Everwise is amazing. Gotta salute that. Come on. That's just power. Close. We can go Professor Equip, and then Professor can get us next turn land, environmental sciences solidarity. So we'll do that. In the meantime, though, Flying Sword is fine. This will be a big turn here. And that's pretty good for them. Let's see what else they come up with. Big turn for Oppo. We have one coming up, though. Found the planes without the sciences, but we'll still run this. And now, what do we want to offer up? Certainly Professor, certainly the Flyer, certainly the Traveler, right? And we want to hold back the Spirit. But I'll offer up all these 3 powers, and then the Flyer can't be blocked. That's kind of the block I expected. Decent block on the Professor there. But we'll take the clearing of some blockers. 1 at least. So now, I was going to say, let's see what they do here. They kind of have this removal spell, but they need mana for it. They got to take out one of our flyers, but if they kill the Dancing Sword Flyer, we get another flyer. So they are out-carding us by a country mile, but we're just trying to get them dead before that matters. Really good for them to have cheap removal for one of those flyers there. Interesting attacks. As I say, I just throw Traveler in front of the 5/3, so I don't know what that was about. That seems good. Like, not quite game-winning good, but close. It doesn't give us another flyer, right? They're gonna untap and kill our flyer, but then we get a sword that hopefully finishes them off. Let's try it.
Together, we are unstoppable.
This one, and I guess we can even send the Traveler. It becomes a must block. If they want to put enough to kill it, they need to give up a Pyromancer or the 5/3.
You are capable of more than you assume.
And it's got the Vigilance, so do your worst. Dies into another creature, so we get a blocker even if they come up with a kill. But yeah, now this isn't enough. They deal 4 and we get a flying 2/1 that they still don't have blocking for. So they need more than just this. Let's see what they got. So now they need a follow-up. Kill. You can send all this at Johnny. Whatever. Yeah, they saw it. Yeah, Ward does say don't have much. I didn't see if they played a land. All right. Aggro in all cubes at all times, apparently. On the play, looking good. I'm gonna go landing. Although we're really, punished by our black here. We don't have a lot of black lands in the deck, but already the problem with not being mono white is coming becoming clear here, right? Like right now we're not two spelling on the second turn. Actually, so given that, I'm gonna play Usher. And then if we don't find another white source, I like attacking with Usher and making a token. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Especially with Nadar on 3, setting up a flipped landing on 4 if we attack with both of these. Another swamp. That is so magic. I could send the Usher and see if they want to block and then make another token and kill. I'm going to go for the Paladin, though. I want the Scry. Another Plains. We need it to cast the Butcher, and it does give us 2 spells next turn, so I'm going to keep it. I hate keeping land on a Scry, but here you go. Matt says unnecessary. It does allow a 2-spell / Usher spell next turn, though. We can even Legion and attack with everything. So, that's fair. Transform land gives white. Yeah, I was not thinking about that for sure. Woof. That thing is scary, but we do have a Paladin to block and eat it. And if we send in, am I willing to trade Nadar off for a Krenko? Well, yeah, we're going to play landing for sure. I'm just trying to figure out what we're offering here. And I think we do just send everything and see what they want to do. Especially Nadar for Krenko that's flipping our landing. Hey Tron, yep, we're doing the cube thing. Goblin Lair. Oh, it's or attacks. Forgot the attack part. So could even make a treasure and just drop Vona here. But also making a token and making another token, getting 2 1/1s and still dropping a Vona and a Traveler next turn also seems interesting. Interesting. But yeah, I think Vona this turn is super powerful. Let's do it. Especially if they do some blocking here. Oh, wow. All right, all right. I'm in. I am in for that. Gonna make you have it with this Butcher. Get it done, Vona. They might have had removal for the Paladin, and that was their plan. I'm going to kill the Paladin and get in with Krenko, and now we say, no, no, you need 2 pieces of removal to get in with Krenko. Maul. Wow, nice. All right, that's great. Come on. Krenko with the Maul. Oh man, that is a lot of token action. So now we are in the troubles. And but destroy non-land permanent. We're gonna get rid of this Krenko now. It's a lot of life, but we're gonna attack in, and then if they gang block, we yeah, so we can do this instant speed during combat after they make their blocks. And I'm gonna attack first with a bunch of stuff. We're gonna send really the team. We could destroy the equipment. It's true. Let's think about it, but I'm going to start with this attack. Ooh, we could even just do that. -4 the Krenko, and then it's not going to really do anything because it's power-based. Yeah, so let's do that. Let's shrink Krenko and then kill them all. Then the Krenko can't really do anything next turn. And if they don't stack all of the stuff they've made from Krenko on our stuff here, we just kind of take over at 13. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. We can spend 2 on Usher and still make a token here and still make a Doom Traveler. That seems interesting. Or Danitha, Doom Traveler, and token. Another option. There they go. They're doing that. And we are doing this. I do like the Maul plan. I think that's interesting. Yeah, I could kill a 1/1. I like this plan, though. I'm fine with this. This is good. Krenko's out of commission for a turn. We're about to get real here. They're at 7. We go back to 10. And now it's like, just what value do we want to do? I kind of like Usher for sure. And then we can do Danitha Traveler or Token Traveler. Let's just go Danitha Traveler. And yeah, this is going to pump team. So I think that was a good line. Just getting rid of the Maul, taking Krenko out of commission as a token maker for a turn, and then get wide enough to get there. Maul on Krenko was just fantastic, though. Chef's kiss play from Oppo. We're just managing it. Well, he's got some blockers. No question about that. No question about that. And I could chump, but and it just creates the same number of creatures back and prevents 3 damage. I don't know how relevant that is, but it's pretty free. I'm gonna do it. Well, it's not a flyer, right? Oh, it is with fly. Sorry, I'm confusing my cards. I thought this made a 1/1 lifelinker. So yeah, let's make a flyer for sure. I feel like I don't even care. Like, they can trade off for Nadar, and Nadar's done the job here. We're gonna crash in. Good Nadar replacement here. We'll get some value out of Ajani. I mean, this is great for us, right? So, no problem. But I will make one of these. And then we still get a Johnny.
It is good to see you, my friend.
Just gonna go for the flyer.
My strength.
I don't know, again, exactly what sweepers are around, but they need one here to not die at 1. And then we have Healer's Hawk plus a Johnny plus a land pumping dudes out if need be. All right.
Bender, honey, we love you.
Shut up, baby, I know it.
Cruising along at 3-0. How many times do we have to win to get our buy-in back? Like 8? Tough to get double black 4 and 5, but the bottom end here is good enough that I'm going to keep this. Yeah, swing with Big Usher or just make a token, we'll see. Or Clarion Spirit. Wow, okay. I'm gonna send the Usher and play the Orator, and if we draw a land, we get Spirit Bone Splitter. Let's try that. If we don't, we can play Spirit and cross fingers. I don't know. Really just want a basic land off the top. Or really any land. I think we've got basics and a need to be untapped duel, so... we just fought through that. Hello. Hello. Seriously ugly. I'm going to send in both and then drop the Spirit. And... yeah, I might even swing in both. That's reasonable. Then we can double block. And then we don't have to Clarion Spirit to double block. Interesting. Yeah, we'll certainly do this. Because we could also Bone Splitter, hook up the Orator, and really be able to block and kill Krenko pretty easily. If we make a token and they have removal, we can get blown out. So... I'm going to go ahead and play and equip the Bone Splitter as my plan for Krenko. It also is stopped by removal, but at least it would be stopped by removal in a way that wouldn't... I'd get a Bone Splitter left behind. All right, they didn't want to. So now what? Now I can Solidarity, and they probably just block here. So now I like Clarion Spirit, and then next turn, if we find a land, we get Hawk Solidarity. Choppy again. Thanks for the info. Let's see. I'm gonna check my health, system health here. Yeah. I'm pushing the memory, but it shouldn't be too bad. I don't know. A little mana screwed here, and that's coming back to haunt us, but still have blocks on Krenko, and we found our third land, so we can go Hawk Solidarity. Get a Clarion Spirit token out with counters on it. Still don't love attacks here, so I'm not gonna. Find a black source, we can bounty the Angel. That clears for big attacks. Ow, ow. That probably just ends the game, honestly. Although we still have blocks on Krenko, so as long as Krenko doesn't take over, we have a chance. Interesting attack here too, because effectively Oppo offering us a double block if we want to take out the Angel. And I can still splitter up the Usher to stop Krenko. There's a possibility of a blowout here, but we've been beat up so badly at this point, I need to take high risk to have a chance. So this could like finish us off if they've got interaction at instant speed here, but we're going to make them have it. All right, so now we'll go, we could equip up, but Nadar gives us a much needed Scry and a second thing that could block and trade with Krenko or block and eat Krenko, so that's fine. And then if we get a land, we get to Resto Nadar. Like, dream is there's just a swamp on top. Hey, dreams come true sometimes. Now we can Grim into Spider Queen. We're slowly stabilizing here. This is good. And I'm a little bit afraid of the Blessed Spirits, but I'm more afraid of Krenko and kind of just want to kill Krenko while we can. Although we have Resto. We could send in and see how they want to block. I imagine they double block with Filigree and Blessed, but then we could Resto and blink our own Nadar and get both the attack venture and the ETB venture. So I'm going to do that, knowing that the plan here is Resto over Grim, because they're almost certainly going to block somewhere somehow here. But I'm not sending Usher because I don't want to bounce it with the token. And again, we could just make the treasure in case they don't block and they want to give us the Spider Queen. But that does not seem realistic. And we are going to get a treasure off the bounty anyway, so I'm going to go with the lair side. Make a gobbo. Close one, though. Yeah, but Pablo, my assumption is we get a block here, and then I'm going to need to resto. If they don't block, I'll wish that I had made a token, but this is what I was expecting, so I wanted to just resto here. And where to put this counter? It's either on our Angel or our Paladin. 4/4 on the ground says they have to trade 2 for 1 to kill the Paladin. We are going to pump our team next turn with Nadar attacking. Flyer or Paladin? I'm gonna go Flyer. Yeah, the potential to Grim Bounty path clear for Nadar. And yeah, I think I like doing that. We could even pay 2 and hook up a Bone Splitter. But by killing the spirits, they really need to put everything on Nadar. So I'm going to do that. I didn't need to do that if I wanted to use the treasure, I guess. But I'm going to bounty the spirits. And suit up Nadar. And then if you want to double block Nadar, fine. You lose everything. And we're in a good spot. Yeah, I'm sorry about the choppy video. I'm not sure what to do about it midstream here. Might take a break after this game and try to sort it out. I think they kept everything alive because they need to get a crusade on. But all this crusading is going to stop my flyer if they don't come up with a flyer. So really, they're doing a bunch of stuff, but none of it matters if they can't kill the resto. Yeah, so I love it. It's impressive. It's why we drafted the card. But we can really just take 16 here. Although I shouldn't. There's no need to take 16. I should just chump. Funny, we could get rid of that thing. But again, just going to go... I mean, if they've got something for the Angel, we're just dead. We got it. All right. Troubleshooting. What if I close all of my... Try shutting down all of my browsers, including use my Streamlabs to keep tabs on chat. Close that. All right, so now I've completely shut down my browser. I'm going to see if that frees up enough resources to make it come clean. I can try rebooting Arena too. What I'm trying to avoid is rebooting Streamlabs. But Streamlabs looks like it's really taxing my GPU. Good old Streamlabs. So now with the game off and my browser's shut down, is it at least not? How are we doing now? All right, so that did improve things. Boy, maybe I need to just suck it up and get a new box or reformat this one. If I'm coming up on 3 years of streaming, it does mean my PC is 3 years old. Although, dang it, that shouldn't matter. I shouldn't need a new PC after 3 years. But now it should be great. If it's not great right now, is there any issues right now? Perfect now. Okay, I expect it to be perfect because my system is not taxed in any way, shape, or form right now. Okay, so now we're going to rebuild and see if it goes haywire on us again. Starting with Arena. And if Arena doesn't crush us here, we'll just call it good, and I'll do it like this for the rest of the show today. I do hear my box huffing and puffing, but it's not showing high numbers where they matter. All right, here we go. But it shouldn't be the life cycle of my PC when I'm not using any software that didn't exist 3 years ago. This looks good. Double black again, kind of laughing at us, but we're going to keep. Sword on a hawk seems fine. Hawk, sword, equip sword, feed something. Fine start. Ooh, guiding voice is interesting too, but sword is the play. After an attack. Doomed Traveler. Let's go. I kind of like guiding voice. Get our second planes ahead of adversary. So I'm going to actually do that. I don't love guiding voice into open mana here, but I'm going to try. Biscuit risking. All right, got there. Get that. Get on it. Grim Bounty. What did they do to us? Oh, they bounced our... Boo, they bounced it. That's all right. We'll go... Hawk. Traveler. And let's equip the Hawk. Not perfect mana use, but not bad. Eagle. Too bad none of these are instants. We could blow out blocks after the Eagle. We could just go with Johnny, pump these up. But I like Grim Bounty to spend the most mana. I could also feed the Swarm since it's not a big ouch to do so. But I like going big because then this way we get feed plus a Johnny next turn. And we get good attacks here. I'm trade off a Traveler for the 1/1, and we'll get a flyer out of it if they want to do that. Because I read the card now. See what they come up with a defense as their defense. Yeah, Gust of Wind. Not that big a deal. In fact, we just get Clarion Spirit, Healer's Hawk, make an extra token, and equip up. So their bounce not proving very good against our cheap stuff. Heck, we have a 2-spell turn for the Spirit next turn if they play something for us to feed. That'd be great if they tried to do creature defense here. We feed it, and then a Johnny. In the tank, also a good sign for us. That's not a card we care about them playing right now. That's just perfect turn for us. They're going Mana Rock and Cycling. Yeah. Our big problem is that we don't have a 2-spell turn. We only have this one awesome spell. Yeah. Oppo's like, thank you, we're done here.
I am too smart. I am too smart. S-M-R-T. I mean S-M-A-R-T.
We're tinkering. We're tinkering. Should have done what on the token? I mean, I put the sword on the lifelinker because lifelink is good, but I'm not sure what I missed. Aggro is usually good in the arena cubes. Aggro is usually good in cube. Like, when aggro is supported, it tends to be good. Yeah. Keeping this. Start on Usher or Legion's Landing. Not sure which yet. Let's see what Oppo does. Another swamp. We keep getting one plains, 2 swamp. It's very funny. Given that, I am going to go Usher and potentially spend the second turn boasting. Yeah, looks like a boast situation. Unless they do something here. Oppo with the what? Blinky, really? Alright. Alright, well, gosh, I wish we had found a stupid extra planes. Ah! Let's not be mono white. We can put in a little black and it won't hurt us at all. It's hurt us multiple times now. 6 swamps, only 6. But I do think we want Usher again. If we don't come up with a plains, I'll want to... Heck, if we do, I'll probably go Legion and Pump. But let's see what Oppo does for turn 3. They might give us something to feed. I mean, it's not the worst. They're kind of spinning wheels a little bit. And hey, at least we get to use all our mana this turn. Well, we'll offer a straight trade for our 3-1 if they want to take it. Wow, deck. Wow. You are a jerk. Feed it? I mean, it's about to get... It's almost gonna get big and scary. I kind of like just feed and go here. Although I'll offer first. They're not going to take this trade, but if they take the trade, that's great. Really? All right. I'm happy with that trade. I'm unhappy with my inability to play any of my big stuff. Come on, deck. Sure, just give me a 4th swamp. It would be funny. 4th swamp. Bring it. Oh, you're gonna do that? All right. Yeah, for this I like Crusade. Let's just get the Crusade down, and we need to find some action to make it work anyway. We got time here. Oh, there's the 4th swamp. Thanks, deck. You're a peach. Just peachy peach. Time to kill the Dowser and a Johnny back a creature, and then Oppo has choices to make. That's fine as long as it's not pressuring a Johnny right now. I mean, the inspiration will take out a Johnny or the creature, but they've got to choose.
Well.
Oppo with just like unfair amounts of removal. This is what I was trying to do yesterday, and it just didn't work. And it's working for Oppo though. Trouble here is like I can make my professor really big or whatever, but it doesn't super help because they've got Dowser and Bounce. So I'm gonna hook this up and then just sit on it and make them use their Dowser Bounce. I think we've lost this one though. We're not gonna overcome Mascot Exhibition, and they can get it back to double it up. But really, we lost to bad mana and Oppo with bottomless removal here, and now we're in just a super tough spot. This is hyper awkward. I can make this a 7-4, but they can still just 1-for-1 it. I can make it an 8-5, and then they need to 2-for-1 it, and then we're just dead. We are like it's almost scoop level dead, but I suppose we have some draws where we could just start to go nuts on Crusade, so we'll give it a chance. But I don't think we have many ways out here. Like, what are we looking to draw? Lulf, like Spider Queen, making some tough attacks. But I'm just looking at our deck, and I just don't see anything in it that helps us. We are an early curve-out deck, and when it gets disrupted, we are effectively dead. And that's kind of where we're at here. Take trades as we can get them. Yeah, now we're drawing this. I'm moving on. Not our game with that draw. And with Oppo's draw, really, it would have been fine if Oppo didn't have interaction, but Oppo's interaction won the day there. We're at 5 wins, though, right? That's sweet. Got our buy-in back. Yeah, I do love a red-blue spells deck in most cubes. Again with a double swamp. It's really weird, but we have a prof to go get the planes, I guess. Like, there's not a lot of swamps in the deck. Deck, what are you doing? It's pissing me off. Lolth. There's another planes. So now we can go get something else with the professor if we want. Probably do want to do that because we can go prof now, get +2/+2 in vigilant count, you know, get anatomy. Now we don't have a 5th land yet for the Spider Queen, but I'm going to just hope that we get there naturally. Hey, now, interesting. We could go, I don't love this open blue mana. We could expand an anatomy and then next turn Clarion Spirit Sword to get Clarion Spirit value. And if we, but I'm also hesitant to risk expanded anatomy into open blue mana. There is clearly a lot of bounce in the cube. What do you think? You trying to get value out of the spirit? Because we could also just sword, probably just sword equip, and then we might luck into value for the spirit anyway. So that's my plan. I'm going to do that. See what they got for this. They are pausing here, though, so a little nervous. Radiant Wares wanted to go for the anatomy. Well, would have been safe if that's all they had, but you can understand my nerves. Go for the anatomy and just get blown out with a bounce spell, like a Into the Royal. Ugh, that would make me puke. Instead, we'll draw a 2-drop to trigger the Clarion Spirit anyway. No luck on that front, but we did get a Swampy Swamp for guaranteed turn 5 Queen. And now I think we go for the anatomy with shields down. Yeah, on prof, and then if they do have bounce, we at least get our prof back. That's fine. Let's do that. Big hit. They're at 7. I mean, heck, we're presenting lethal. With the queen about to show up. Huh. Well, Courser gives us Spirit Courser for the 2 spell, and we can do Queen next turn. I like getting a flyer in the air here. I'm just going to swing away. If they block and kill the Doom Traveler, we get a Flying Dancing Sword and a 1/1. And obviously, I'd happily trade Prof for the Golem. And then we still get Spirit Courser afterwards. So we're going to swing in and then double spell. Yeah, them taking the time to eat the Traveler is just actually perfect for us. That's a nice board to have a queen behind as well. Yeah, I've not been playing around sweepers too much, and in this case, if they have one, we do get to follow with the queen. So, make them have something here. 10 life. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, they go to 1 here. And they kind of have to block. Oh, that helps. So we're going to go queen and then swing away.
I'm hungry. Won't you stay for dinner?
So they get to have a little snacker, but then the queen gets a loyalty counter off that, and we just
Get what I want.
make some annoying critters.
In exchange for loyalty.
I'm gonna sandbag the swamp. That's not enough yet. Right now we have 2 power of flying that can get past the guard mage, and Grim Bounty just kind of wraps it up here. Never mind. They had the answer. Frustrating. But let's see, with 3 blockers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 attackers, our weakest 3 get through. That's not lethal, but they got to block everything, and then we get to make more spiders. So, sending in. Huge play for Oppo, though, for sure. I thought I had him and then did not. I feel like this is the right play, but I'm not even sure where we're at. Whether Sedgemoor doing stuff can... like, if they got another spell here, that could matter. Or they could miss block and just give us the game literally right now. I'll take that. Sure, Oppo. That was a tough spot, but obviously not the right block. I've also been there. Oh, maybe I wasn't counting the menace. Maybe we just had it, and I was like, oh, bad blocks, Oppo. And Oppo's like, bad reading, idiot. You had me. I'll take it. I'll take it.
Oh no, please! I can't read your crazy moon language!
Yeah, I totally spaced on menace. Obviously, that's huge there. No 1-drop. What? But we'll keep. Nice to find a 2 besides Dancing Sword, because then we can go coarser, cheap sword. But if we don't find a 2, we'll drop the sword. Love the goose. That's my card. We're winning our games with that card. Oh, you're late, Orator. Where were you? That's all right. We'll, what do we want to do? I can go Orator, hook up this sword, and then next turn it would get flying. Let's do that. Four, 3 flying vigilance seems good. Woof! Sparring regimen on anything seems good. Such a good card. Well, that's pretty good. Kind of want to take out this spirit before it gets out of hand, rather than worry about the courser right now, because then we still have good attacks. We have good attacks anyway. Courser is auras, right? Oh no, it is enchantments. Yeah, that's a good point. I was thinking it was auras, because it's usually when it's art, like, usually it's equipment and auras. Instead, it's just artifacts and enchantments. So we can take out the spirit, but we don't need to do it till after attacks. Let's give him a chance to be silly. What? They're not silly? All right. Now we get Crusade next turn and Courser, and hopefully we draw another creature before in the next couple draws, and then we get Crusade into Courser, other creature. That would be fantastic if we can keep our stuff alive. Still good. Look at that thing. Making a weapon out of a goose. If they don't add to the board, though, this is good for us in terms of attacks. Oh, now they've got... Oh, yeah, they had to do that, though. It's still good for attacks. Can still Solidarity later. I'm going to start with the Swing and then the Crusade. Yeah, would not mind Feed the Swarm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If we found a single white creature, that might be the best. Like any of our white 1-drop creatures. Because then we can go Courser, Creature, Solidarity, cast our hand, Crusade up 1,000,000. So if I'm asking, 1-drop creature would be where it's at. Not quite. We could go Professor. We can go Professor, get Landfinder, cast Courser, and then have Solidarity for next turn. I'll certainly start here. We could also just get the Anatomy, though. If we want Anatomy, we're going to have a 5/4. We could make it a 7/6. A 7/6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They would literally need to put most of their team on it to stop it. If we just do the Courser, we end up with a 6/5, which is almost as good in that front. Right? Like a 6/5, we would take out Colony and Goose. I'm kind of willing to do that, especially since the sword can then become something else. So I'm going to go ahead and get the Sciences, since it actually ends up producing a similar amount of damage thanks to the Crusade. Oh, and it flies, which means they can't even block it. So that's another good reason to do it this way. Don't even really offer a trade for the Orator. We just offer a crap ton of damage. Now we got a lot of hot draws. Any creature to trigger the Crusade again. And then Solidarity to add to the pain with Oppo at 6. I mean, they're in a tough spot. Well, let's see what they can get out of this.
I'll turn this damn bus around. That'll end your precious little field trip pretty damn quick, huh?
Can do this one too.
Welcome, Professor.
With the pop quiz.
Good afternoon, Dr. Jones.
That's Professor Snape.
Give me some skin, bruh.
Flash Crusade trigger seems great. And I'm going to give up on some value from Solidarity, I think. Or maybe we can even just wait. Right now, they need to block the Goose. No, I'm going to do it both ways. We'll probably bounce the Prof, or we don't even need to. It's at a May. You may. Yeah, so we don't even need to exile anything. I'm just going to do this. now. And I think it's close to dead. Just, I mean, they have to block the Orator. There we go. That's what I was hoping to see. And now we resto. I'm not even going to blink anything. We just make this a 5/5. It eats the goose, and then we're super solid for next turn. Might even cause a exploding planeswalker. Yeah, I think we actually just had it on dead with the 6 damage there, so it was lethal. I knew that. Shut up. Well, after really struggling on Friday, switched to aggro gear and really lost only once to bad mana and a good deck from Oppo. No, I had to select something. It was going to give me the May menu coming up, Radiantware. There was no way to not choose something. I just hadn't gone through the May part of it yet. Nice. Well, that was cool. Let's hop to soapbox mode. Hey, YouTube friends. I guess that's how you handle this cube. Forget tinkering. Get low down, get aggro, get them dead before they can tinker up your doom. Worked for us. Maybe it's not what you're cubing to do, but clearly it's a powerful approach to an environment that is a little low on sweepers and pinpoint removal. It really does overload your opponent's ability to manage when you come at them that wide and hard and fast. So that's one option. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll catch you the next draft. Bye, gang.